So now they are together again, together with other loved ones, and they are here with us today. So when we say something clever, funny, or learn, they will learn.
Thank you. Test, test. We need a mic. Sorry. Give it a second. Welcome all. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. Welcome all for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time to celebrate our parents, Elba and Mike Tompkins. Having had such a long time pass since Mom and Dad died is a mixed blessing. The rawness of our grief has been converted to a dull ache, but we weren't able to come near closure until today. It's so good to see that everybody's here and see that Mom and Dad are so fondly remembered after some time has passed. Something amazing is how present and Mom and Dad are still here. They're here and they're present, even though they're physically not here. They're here. During conversations with friends, I find myself saying things like, Dad would have said this, he would have advised you that. I give unsolicited advice because of Dad. Not everybody's interested, but I do. During conversations with friends, I also find myself saying, I'm seeing my mom washing her face before going to bed at night, and I can hear Mom's voice saying, it's important to layer your serums and moisturizers, honey. You're not getting any younger. When a huge tree crashed down into the family home, causing serious damage, but injuring no one, and not hurting anything that could not be replaced, I knew that the spirits of Mom and Dad conspired to knock that tree down in order to allow my sister Michelle to make some much needed home improvements. Over these past few months and years, I find myself remembering some of the good times. I remember watching Mom getting ready for a night out with awe and excitement. She was so glamorous. I remember singing silly, sometimes naughty songs with her to keep her spirits up. For instance, when Mom was mad at Dad, she would play the song Cell Block Tango from the musical Chicago. If you aren't familiar with that song, the main refrain from the Five Murderesses was, he had it coming. Dad was usually humored, but he occasionally left the room to sulk if he thought he was being picked on, which didn't happen very often. Our family is a full contact family. Have you met us? There's no room for shrinking violets. We all speak one's mind in this household. There might be yelling, but there's always laughter and love. I remember luring Mom and Dad onto the dance floor the year that Mom passed. They were very happy in each other's company. Something that I wasn't expecting are the things that I didn't know about my parents, or being reminded of things that I had forgotten. I forgot how much Mom read. I forgot the random movies that they would watch over and over again. I loved, and I continue to love, looking at pictures of Dad and my son Ian and being floored at the striking resemblance. Did you notice? What makes it most shocking is technically Dad and Ian aren't even biologically related. I made some discoveries that changed my perspective on my parents. As I have aged, people cite my resemblance to my mom. While I know that we share some similar features, we also mirror each other with our expressions. I didn't realize that I also had a lot of similarities that Dad and I shared. I've been known to be the English language sentinel. I cannot tolerate typos. I was pleased to discover Dad's old writings. Many are still pertinent. I found the speech that Dad delivered as a student body president his senior year in high school to not only contain profound sentiments, but also contain 0 typos and grammatical errors. Pretty impressive for a teenager. We found missing writings from Dad and simple items that could easily have been overlooked, but that now contain special meaning. We found lists that he made about things, mostly about grandkids and things that they did that were particularly amusing. One was titled Baby Noel at 2. Another one was called Ian and Bullseyes. Dad kept a gratitude list and not only said wonderful things about his family and friends that he rarely shared out loud, but it showed how observant he was to the little things that made life worthwhile. One of the most surprising finds was the fact that Dad had meticulously planned a celebration of life for my mom, Elba. He had created a guest list, a list of musical selections, and the incorporation of things that he thought she would have liked. One of the things he did was write a rough draft for his introductory speech that he had planned to deliver himself. Sadly, he's not able to deliver those remarks himself, so I will do it for him. One caveat, please note that these are Dad's words, so please don't judge me. Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming and interrupting your day to celebrate the life of our wonderful Elba. Everyone on earth is unique. Some are special. Elba was special. She was tall, beautiful, educated, eccentric, loving, generous, God-fearing, and joyous. But I'm pretty sure she would want to be remembered for these virtues: wife, mother, grandmother, sister, teacher, friend. Our 50th wedding anniversary was on June 27th, 2020. Coincidentally, our next door neighbors, Mary and Jerry, celebrate that same exact wedding anniversary. Elba was not well on that date. If she were, I would have sponsored yet another self-aggrandizing function. She is well now, and here we are. What is the measure of a life? How about is the world a better place because she was here? Almost too many reasons to count. Here are a few of the qualities I will always remember Elba for. Never boring, loving, forgiving, joy-filled, generous, authentic. Songs. If ever I would leave you, it never entered my mind. My one and only love. Bésame mucho. Always on my mind. Summer me, winter me. And mi viejo San Juan. That is as far as Dad got on Mom's celebration of life. A final revelation is how Dad touched the lives of his patients. After his passing, many current and former patients reached out to offer condolences and share some thoughts on how he helps them. One of them, Jonathan, created a rap to convey his feelings for Dad. Allow me to introduce to you my daughter, Noelle, who is backed up by my brother, Eric, to share, and Hannah doing something, to share his feelings about Dad with you today.
Hello, everybody. Let me just get into my mode real quick. All right, everybody, can I please get a beat? All right. I lost my therapist, Mike Tompkins. My heart shattered. I can't stop thinking. He helped me through the tough times, and now he's gone. It's hard to find a way to cope, a way to deal, but I remember what he'd reveal. To live life fully, to find joy, to seek the good, not just annoy. Mike Tompkins, he was the man, a naval officer and much more than. A brilliant mind, a loving soul, his passing leaves a gaping hole. But we won't forget his sage advice to laugh often and improve our lives. He loved the little things like a beer or view, the San Francisco Giants and Woody Repartee too. He helped his clients to find the joy in their success and urged us all to live with less stress. He left a mark on all he knew, a shining example of what to do to make the world a better place and leave it better with a smile on our face. Mike Tompkins, he was the man, a naval officer and much more than. A brilliant mind, a loving soul, his passing leaves a gaping hole. But we won't forget his sage advice to laugh often and improve our lives. He's with his beloved wife now reunited in a better place, no longer divided, but we still feel the pain, the loss of a man who never let life toss him down for long. He kept on going, a true inspiration, always showing us how to be better, to live well, to honor his legacy we'll never tell. Mike Tompkins, he was the man, a naval officer and much more than. A brilliant mind, a loving soul, his passing leaves a gaping hole. But we won't forget his sage advice to laugh often and improve our lives. Rest in peace, Mike Tompkins. Your memory lives on. It never ends. We'll celebrate your life, your legacy, and honor your wisdom for eternity. And mic drop. Oh, thank you.